you can get to where you're in the 70s, hopefully in getting several eights and nines somewhere sprinkled in there, but you're in the 70s because you don't have any 60s and belows. You're fairly good, marked off on everything, and you're showing under a good judge. You've got a good you're building that horse up physically, emotionally, mentally. And then when you move on to that, every time you move up a level, it becomes a little more challenging and you're changing their physique and they're getting that strength. Um, that's, that's the way I think about it. The people that shoot up the levels too fast, or, maybe they can do it as a rider, but their horse can't, or vice versa. And it really is a roadmap to training for me as far as what's expected, but not the how-to part. You still need to get the help for the how to do all those elements. But I see so many people skip and start above where they should be, that yes, maybe their horse can do the pattern, but not the element or the maneuver correctly.
Yes, that's a little bit tricky for our division that it looks like pattern writing and really talking about, are you achieving all of the spokes of the training wheel? And
Right,
if you
right,
are, and if you work along and primarily work them in order, because when you don't work them in order, it pretty much doesn't come together.
right,
And
right,
so that we have people that are just like, "Hey, last year I was at this level. The next year, well, I did that level and I wasn't horrible. They weren't always great." And then they're like, "Well, I'll just move up to the next level." Like they assume that they're going to progress
right,
and pretty much have difficulties because that isn't the idea of how the work progresses. And a lot of times it doesn't even allow time for the horses to develop muscle and development to carry the new movements
right,
that we're looking for them to do.
right.
So, and as you
And
just explained, about the test tells you what they're expecting.
well, I feel like when you look at it from that point of view, as a horse trainer, and even though I'm an amateur, I'm still a trainer because I'm the one riding him. You could be a good trainer or a bad trainer. I am training him every time I get on him. But then if I go up those levels and I do it right, then it feeds right into what you said, that collection is a byproduct of everything else, not I'm training for collection. Because I do feel like that when you train from collection, you train from the front back instead of the back front. Because people are looking for that shorten the reins, the collection, the head set only. They're looking from the hands forward and they're not thinking about the body tipping down and taking more weight behind and elevating the front end. It it comes
That's
along.
that's right. It's absolutely right. That collection is a byproduct of the other spokes of the training wheel. And if you try to just start, well, I'm going to train collection, inevitably people fail. And the interesting thing is horses do have different conformation, different temperaments, different natural God-given balances. And yet every horse, unless it's unsound, is is capable, if it will accept the training that the riders give it, if it can emotionally and physically accept the training, it can produce some collection. And it does vary because some individuals are more talented than others and
Right,
have better conformation, but unless they're unsound, some collection can occur, and collection develops and it strengthens as a horse gets more balanced and develops more muscle to carry the rider and to carry itself. So it's such
right.
an interesting process. And I think that's why so many of us stick with it for an entire lifetime because it's kind of addictive.
Right. And then like the difference in when I ride him and when I ride one of my others, um, I can feel the difference because of what he has accomplished and what he can do as opposed to what they're just in the beginnings of learning. Um, and you feel that difference. And I've ridden these horses all their lives. I've had with the exception of him, I bought him as but all the others, they were rather born here, bought as a weanling, bought as a long yearling. So I've had them from when they first rode until now. And I know what they started out like. You know, their world's better, but they're not to where he is when you ride it. And you can really just the looseness, the togetherness, a little more power through his gait. You can feel that, which makes me excited about them because I know what he used to feel like, and I know that they'll come around too eventually when
Right.
they get
Right,
through it.
because this is the level 3 horse, and those are the
Right.
intro and basic
Intro and
horses,
basic.
and they're coming along, and
Right.
gaited too, and the idea that gaited horses do show collection, and like you just said, how excited you were this week when you realized that he was uphill in his thoracic all of a sudden, and you could feel his
Yeah.
hind legs take weight, and sort of the back
Yeah.
of the saddle goes down and the thoracic goes up, and you're like, "Wow, this is like whoa, we just tipped up the front of the water skis or
Yep.
something." Um,
Yep.
pretty
And he
exciting.
wasn't speaking.
Yeah, when you pretty exciting when you feel that for the very
Yeah.
first times
That
and
was
you're
the
like,
first time ever, ever, ever. That was really, really cool.
for sure were sure that you felt collection that was uphill through the thoracic.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
engagement and that's
Yep.
collection. That's pretty exciting. All right, well, let's get him going in his saddle gait.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. If you like the information we provided today, don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. Also check out IdaNorrisDressage.com and Ida Norris Western Dressage on Facebook.